Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. परमो च प्रभु सत्यम नित्यत्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तामहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओं शांति शांति शांति. Namaste, good morning, Vande Mataram, welcome all of you. The topic of this spiritual discussion for this great morning will be on life and death. So, interesting topic. We must move eternally in the light of Sri Aurobindo Savitri. The Mantramai Savitri will guide us to move eternally in the horizon of life and death. So, we'll start it in the light of Sri Aurobindo. We'll take some glorious lines from Sri Aurobindo's magnum opus Savitri. So, this is, of course, people define Savitri is the epic of love and death, but it is many more. Still then, it depends from person to person, from reader to reader, from sadhak to sadhak, from researcher to researcher, according to their growth of consciousness. So a little bit, of course, in brief, we'll try to define this great topic, birth and death. So Sri Aurobindo quotes here about the death. Very interestingly, Sri Aurobindo quotes, in its recurrent decimal of events, birth, death are a ceaseless iterations points. The old question mark margins each finished page. Just try to realize what Sri Aurobindo has tried to quote. The very truth behind our thought and deeds. It is the very remarkable spot of our life, the point to be remembered. In its recurrent decimal of events, birth, death are ceaseless iterations of point. The old question mark margins each finished page. Question mark margins each finished page. There is a question, but there is no answer. Problem without solution. Each volume of her efforts history, a limping ace through the aeons. Journey is going on. It is never to end. It is an unending story and a never-ending story. Accompanied by an eternal no. Aeons. A limping ace through the aeons journey tree, still ace, how it is? A limping ace, accompanied by an eternal no. It has been continuing till today, and I don't know how long it will go. Only the Lord knows, the Master knows. All seems in vain, yet endless is the game. Again, eternal no. Then all seems in vain, yet endless is the game. This game is going on, it is endless, nowhere it will end. I don't know when it will end and where. Life has no issue, death brings no release. Very interesting term, everyone has to, at least they have to be conscious and they must remember. Life brings no issue, life has no issue, death brings no release. A prisoner of itself, the being lives as prisoner, it don't know how it is present. He feels, he claims, he complains that we are freed being, we are liberated beings. But thing is that Sri Aurobindo quotes, a prisoner of itself, the being lives and keeps its futile immortality. Keeps its futile immortality, but futile immortality is knows not the real thing. Extinction is denied, its soul escape. Extinction is denied, its soul escape that is denied. An error of the gods has made the world, and are indifferent the eternal watches time. Through this indifference of, and this error of gods, the world goes on and the life is moving as before. In between also, we feel, having this initial idea, we ourselves, we say, rekindling the faith, there is a faith, and this is unkindled faith. This is unkindled faith, it was only temple faith, it was yet unkindled, and it is now, we are rekindling, once it was kindled, and we are rekindling our faith, and we say, oh, surely one day he shall come to our cry. Oh, Surely one day he shall come to our cry. One day he shall create our life anew. This is the faith we are rekindling. And with the faith, with this great faith, we move forward in the eternal time and through eternity to reach the goal of eternity. And utter the magic formula of peace. Peace, the magic formula of peace we utter. And bring perfection to the scheme of things, that he will bring perfection into the scheme of things and utter the magic formula of peace, because this perfection is lacking. It is not there, he has to bring peace. It is lacking, but he has to utter the magic formula of peace, formula by which this peace can be attained. One day he shall descend to life and earth, leaving the secrecy of the eternal doors. He is now living inside the secrecy of eternal doors, and he has to come out. He has to descend into life and earth, leaving the secrecy of the eternal doors. The eternal doors, the secrecy is there. He is staying behind the eternal door. But we hope that faith is there. He will come into a world that cries for him for help. The world unhelped, unsaved, drowned, and actually abandoned. So that is crying for help. And we hope there is a faith he will come and bring the truth that sets the spirit free. The spirit is not at free, it is bound, and he will bring the light, truth that sets the spirit free. That light, fire will be, that truth will be brought with him. The joy, that is the baptism of the souls, the strength, that is outstretched arm of love. One day he shall lift the beauty's dreadful veil, impose delight on the world's beating heart, and bear his secret body of light and peace. Just imagine how God has to come. He has a lot of things to do. Without him, life is some totally empty, totally grey, totally actually in vain. So what he has to do? The world cries to him for help. Then what he will bring for this help, as the point of help, as the way of help, what he will do? Bring the truth that sets the spirit free. Not only human mind, life, body, but the spirit also, it has to be free with the truth that he will bring. The joy, next one, the joy, that is the baptism of the soul. Joy, that is the baptism of the soul. Next, the strength he has to bring, that is the outstretched arm of love. And one day he shall lift the beauty's dreadful veil. The veil of the beauty's veil, but that is dreadful veil. It is there, it has unlifted, so he has to come and lift the veil. Impose delight on the world's beating heart. World's heart is beating, so he has to impose delight. Now the imposition is only sorrow, our tears, agony, but he has to impose delight on the heart of in the beating heart. Earth grows unexpectedly divine. The heart will be compelled to bliss. And bear is a secret body of light and the bliss. Light and bliss, it is unseen, it is not bare, so he has to bear and things. So then Sri Aurobindo quotes again very interesting. See, what is about our life and death? Sri Aurobindo very interestingly tries to define and quotes. A secret will, our being must move eternally through time. Must move eternally through time. There is no issue. There was no issue from that dream-like space. And after that, this lines here in the quotes, our being must move eternally through time. Death helps us not. Pain is the hope to cease. Many times we offer death is the end. Death will bring release. Death is the end of all human road. Of course, everything is same. But thing is that it can't bring the release. Death brings no release. Death helps us not. Pain is the hope to cease. A secret will compels us to endure. Behind this death life, there is a secret will. The will of the divine, that is secret, compels us to endure. Our life's repose is in the infinity. We can't stay here. Our repose is not here, somewhere it is seen in the very limited sphere of our sight. So our life's repose is in the infinity. It can't end. Its end is life supreme. So the topic we are discussing now, that is life and death. So it can't end. Our life's repose is in the infinity. Infinity means not a traceable or reachable distance. It is infinity. No, we can't reach. So its end is it can't end. Its end is life supreme, life divine. We have seen in many occasions we have repeated the term life divine. So now we see the term life supreme. Then what about the death, and what about the life we are leading here? What about the definition of death? That is everywhere death we know. Majatasya hindramang mrityu. Once this life we have taken means the end is death. This is the only truth for life who have taken birth and who are leading the life. So death is the great close for them, and people are happy with this concept. People are happy. Till now, nobody has tried to move up and to get the thing to be get liberated from the bonds of death. Of course, someone has tried. Some people die at will, that like Bhishma, and we have seen some immortal spirit like Markandeya and all. Something we have seen, but these are the stories, pura Puranic stories. Death is a passage, not the goal of our work. Here, Aurobindo very interestingly clarifies. You just know death. Why you are bending our head? We are going into the very open mouth of this death. We are going. Death is a passage, not the goal of our work. It is a passage. Passage means from one sphere to our sphere, from one step to second step, from one home to another home, one world to another. It is a passage. It will leave us. Some ancient deep impulsion labors on. Yeah, impulsion, deep impulsion, some ancient deep impulsion labors on. Our souls are dragged as with a hidden leash. Then after this thing, death, life, death, steer in the course upon our souls. Our souls are dragged as with a hidden leash, carried from birth to from world to world, because about rebirth, about karma, rebirth here in the course upon. Our souls are dragged as with a golden leash, carried from birth to birth, from world to world. No, here you don't know with this because this is an unfinished, never-ending, unending story. It is ongoing story from birth to birth, from world to world. It will be carried, dragged as with a hidden leash. Our acts prolong after the body's fall. That is the karma we have in, we know that our karma phala, that the result of the karma, the about this karma which decides our rebirth and all. We have seen here. There is no time to discuss, of course, as according to our karma, the next rebirth, next birth is to be decided. It is evident. The old perpetual journey without pause. Old journey and perpetual journey without pause. No silent peak is found where time can rest. It is no peak is seen where it can rest, because it has to go on. It has to define all time's huge curve. This is a ceaseless miracle. This is a path. This is going on. This is the magic stream that reaches no sea. The God, it river travels on, but sea, finding the sea is $1 billion question. It is just like next to a dream. However far he went, wherever turned, the wheel of works ran with him and outstripped. The thing is here in the course here, the wheel of works, this karma vada, about the karma work, wheel of works ran with him wherever he went, wherever he reached. This karma, according to your karma, it will be decided. Sometimes for the good karma, you have work, you will get a good result, and your next birth will be reshaped. So according to our previous birth, suppose we are leading a very good life, so naturally it is the grace of the boon of the previous birth. So karma decides. If it is a bad one, so we are naturally be looking miserable, suffering. It is there. So the wheel of, even there is also some assumption twice the result is got. Means for the good work we are getting good result here, and in the, of course, in next birth. For the bad work we are suffering here, and for the next birth also, that is also the agony and miserable life. So here in the course, the wheel of work ran with him and outstripped. Always a further task was left to do. After this, one further task was left to do. A beat of action and a cry of search forever grew in that unquiet world. A busy murmur filled the heart of time. So it is going on. The life must go. It is not. There is no see.